Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Kaylee said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again. We made it! Before I begin, I'd like to thank two very important groups of people. Firstly, I'd like to thank all of our administrators, our teachers, and the rest of the staff at Dothan High School for constantly motivating us and engaging us to work hard so that we would make it to this stage today. You devote your time and your effort into teaching us, even on the days that we don't feel like being taught. And you engage each student on a personal level to ensure that they are on the right page. So thank you. Next, I'd like to thank all parents or other guardian figures that are here today. Parents, you've been here for us every single day of our high school career. You were there when you forced us to stay home to study for a test, or do homework when we really wanted to go hang out with our friends. You were there to comfort us when we were feeling down. You were there on the countless number of days when we forgot to bring something to school, so you go out of your way to bring it to us. You were there supporting us as our #1 fans at every single one of our football games, soccer games, track meets, you name it. But most importantly, you're here now, and you'll continue to be there for us as we mature into adulthood. So parents, thank you, and we love you. And now for the meat. As we began our journey at Dothan High School, we took refuge inside the freshman building, intimidated by the foreboding nature of the main building and the upperclassmen. During our first few weeks of school, changing classes was chaos. We were no longer in the safe and cozy pods of Beverly and Honeysuckle. This was a war zone. At the sound of the bell, the dreaded 5-minute timer to get to our next class began. Nobody knew what would happen if we weren't in our classes at the sound of the next bell, and nobody wanted to find out. So we frantically pulled out our schedules and searched door to door for our next class. Class numbers were coded with indecipherable letters and numbers, some beginning with an A while others began with an M and even an L. We had seen enough letters and numbers in our algebra classes. As the days became weeks and the weeks became months, we grew into our status as Dothan High Tigers. We sang our hearts out to Bitty Bitty Bum Bum and Dead Colores, and I was supposed to sing them today, but the band unfortunately could not make it. We took pictures of roadkill for our biology project and dressed up as peasants from the Shakespearean era. And if there's one thing that I'll remember 10 years from now about freshman year, it'll be Austin Hill's interpretation of Dill from To Kill a Mockingbird. As we became sophomores, we grew closer together as we mourned the death of Harambe. We took our rightful place in the main building and began to participate in more pep rallies and attend more sporting events. We then became juniors, the year of our hardest classes, which caused senioritis to set in early for many. On top of the strenuous homework assignments we had each night, we were tasked with preparing for the ACT. Now, taking the ACT during school hours was acceptable, but when we had to wake up at 6 a.m. to take it on a Saturday morning, we weren't happy. We eventually achieved our desired ACT scores and became seniors. Senior year, we had finally made it. What had seemed like a very distant future had become reality. Those young and impressionable freshmen were now making their own crowns and storming the field to show that the school was theirs. We were no longer being led, but we were the leaders. All that was left was to keep those passing grades and graduate. And here we are now. The answer to Alex Schaefer's question that he's been asking since the beginning of August. Is it May 22nd yet? Is finally a yes. I kid you not, Alex has asked this question almost every single day of this school year. Alex, I'm proud to tell you, May 22nd is finally here. And we're all going to graduate in approximately 20, 30 minutes, depending on what letter of the alphabet your last name begins with. Today we say goodbye to the Dothan High School that we know. It's always been the Dothan High Tigers, the Northview Cougars, and the Enterprise Wildcats. When they announced that the new school would be called the Wolves, I was very surprised that we were departing from the feline theme of our area. All jokes aside, the Dothan High Tigers will live on forever, and no amount of middle schoolers running down those hallways can erase the 108 years of history that we've made. We walk this stage today ready to begin the next chapter of our lives. Some of us will be soldiers, others college students, or even members of the workforce. For class of 2019, I urge you, wherever you end up, don't settle for mediocrity. Figure out what makes you the happiest person alive, and don't let anyone stop you from achieving it. Take every opportunity for success that is presented to you. Go for that promotion. Go to those after-class tutoring sessions. Apply for that internship. Whatever that opportunity may be, put your heart and your soul into it. We owe it to ourselves to make these 4 years of high school count. And wherever we end up, there's no doubt that we're going to face hardships, and some of those will involve the interactions with our peers. In our society, we tend to define each other based on radicalized political and religious beliefs. However, the reality is, we're all more similar than we are different. We all require caffeine in the mornings and get annoyed when there's a line at Starbucks. We all love our families and want to transform this world into a safe place for our future children. We all share that same human dignity, and that's what allows us to prosper as Americans. So class of 2019, if there is anything that you take away from my speech today, let it be to love your neighbor and always strive to be the best version of yourself. Congratulations to all of us.